This is Valley News Live at 6.
I don't even know how I'm going to do this. I'm trying to be strong for my other kids, but I just break.
Stricken mother is speaking out after her young son was killed in a Moorhead shooting Sunday night.
It happened along the 400 block of Sunrise Circle, where several children were left home alone, found a gun, and tragically, a 6-year-old named Marcellus was shot and killed. Police have not yet determined if the shooting was accidental or intentional.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke with the victim's mother today. It's a story you'll see only here on Valley News Live.
For only 6 years old, Demetria Smith says her son had more personality and love to give than anyone else she knows.
He was so loving. He had a little attitude sometimes and be a little cocky sometimes, but his love overpowered that.
Besides Hot Wheels and sports, Smith says Marcellus could spend hours watching videos on YouTube and TikTok.
They stay on everybody's phone. If you're around and you got a phone, they want your phone.
Smith says Marcellus and his siblings were at a family member's home Sunday night, something she has extreme guilt over, as she says she usually doesn't let her kids do anything without her.
I feel like I'm to blame because I should have just let my kids stay at home.
Smith says her other children witnessed the tragic shooting of Marcellus, leaving them to deal with an enormous amount of grief and trauma at such a young age, something Smith says is going to be a long road to help them through.
They not being able to sleep, waking up, having these spurts of crying, it's going to be hard, and I'm going to have to get my babies some serious help.
Smith says she wants justice for her son and for the people responsible to be held accountable, saying a gun should have never been left in the apartment, especially next to where kids would look for snacks.
This is not something that I wish on no parent.
Smith says she's trying to be as strong as she can for her other children and says she'll never let them forget about their little brother with a big laugh and an even bigger heart. In Moorhead, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Police say the investigation into this case remains active.
An attempt at serving an eviction notice got out of hand this afternoon. It happened in the 500 block of 22nd Avenue North in Fargo. Deputies issued a stay-at-home order in a 2-block radius just in case things got worse. That has since been lifted. The man refused to leave the home, and deputies eventually decided to back off and try again another day. Fargo North High School and a nearby elementary school were also told to shelter in place for a short time.
There's some excitement surrounding Hutch mentioning the chance of 70 degrees on Monday, but we have to get there first, and that includes getting through some lower temps, some clouds, and even the chance of rain somewhere. He's here now to explain tonight's conditions. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. We do have some changes coming as we get ready to close out our work week and head into the weekend. And you know, we really could use some significant moisture out in our western counties where drought is taking hold. And that's where we see some showers and clouds on the increase right now. They are slowly approaching the Devil's Lake Basin right now. Now, notice the yellows and oranges here on the radar near Bottineau and heading down towards Denby and Carlsruhe. A few of those locations could get a few tenths of an inch from these showers based on what I'm seeing on Doppler estimates of precipitation. But for now, temperatures mid-40s central Minnesota to mid-50s in our western counties from the James River Valley. 57 this hour in Sisseton. Still beautiful conditions, although a little cool in the Fargo area. We'll sneak down into the 40s with increasing clouds late. We'll stay dry until closer to daybreak when our rain chances increase. Up north, we could have some flakes of snow in the forecast as we go through your night and morning tomorrow. I'll have details on your forecast to close the work week heading into the weekend, and I'll update you on that 70 degrees you referred to, Mike, here in just a few moments.
You're going to show this on the screen, right?
It's all going to be live and in person here shortly.
All right, thanks.
Yes.
Have you seen this boy? Fargo police need your help finding 16-year-old Carson Garrett. He's described as 5'8" to 5'10", has brown hair and blue eyes, and is about 155 to 160 pounds. He was reported as a runaway on March 2nd. Police say he has been in communication with his family, but they need help finding him. If you see him, call dispatch at 451-7660.
Meanwhile, police in Lisbon, North Dakota are asking for help in finding those responsible for setting a picnic table on fire. Here's a photo that the Park District shared on its Facebook page last night. If you have any information, call police at 701-683-4141.
A shipment of THC was seized at the Pembina port of entry. It happened last Thursday. U.S. Customs and Border Protection says the shipment was sent to the U.S. on an express consignment carrier that appeared to look like a non-alcohol disinfectant. Officers got assistance from a canine unit that detected an odor that was traced back to the shipment. Samples of the substance were sent to a lab for analysis.
In tonight's Legislative Watch, Minnesota lawmakers are advancing a proposal that would make recreational marijuana use for people ages 21 and up and remove minor convictions related to cannabis. The proposal would also establish regulations for the production and sale of cannabis and cannabis products, including a 9-member board to oversee the new industry. Medical marijuana is legal in Minnesota, though its restrictions are some of the toughest in the country. Meanwhile, North Dakota's Senate has killed legislation to legalize recreational marijuana. That bill mirrored the state's medical marijuana program, which the 2017 legislature implemented after voters approved it in 2016.
Some Minnesota lawmakers are trying to change the sexual assault laws. The state Supreme Court granted a new trial to a defendant convicted of criminal sexual assault. The defendant claimed the felony charge did not apply in that case because the victim was voluntarily intoxicated. The man was accused of taking a drunk woman home and raping her. A bill to tighten sexual assault laws is expected to be introduced after Easter break next month.
The North Dakota Senate passed a bill that sets up the process for filing the seat of a winning candidate who dies or resigns before taking office. A similar scenario took place last fall when House candidate David Ondahl died in October. Then he ended up winning by one of 2 open seats in District 8. Governor Burgum tried to appoint Wade Beauchene to fill the spot, but the State Supreme Court said a Republican district committee should make the replacement. The bill was sent to the governor and it mirrors the court's ruling.
A legislative bill offering immunity from liability claims for schools and employees if students contract COVID-19 has received support among teachers. Remote learning was difficult for many students and families, but going back to in-person learning has risks as well. Those who work in schools are seeking to protect themselves.
I do think it would provide some comfort to the rest of our school board members out there and potential future school board members that the state believes they should be protected in their service.
Baxley says she's not aware of any such lawsuits, but it's better to provide protection ahead of time. The House will vote on it tomorrow.
Turning to our COVID-19 coverage now. More cases of COVID variants are being reported in Minnesota. Earlier this month, the focus of the B117 variant was in Carver County. But in the state's recent sampling batch of COVID-19 testing, they've identified 479 infections of the more contagious variant. Minnesota has also seen 108 cases of 2 newer variants first detected in California. There have also been 6 known cases of the variant that was first detected in South Africa and 2 cases of the variant first found in Brazil.
Minnesota health officials are also reporting that dozens of fully vaccinated people have contracted COVID-19. The state has identified 89 coronavirus infections in people who got the vaccine. Clinical trials suggest the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are 95% effective, while Johnson & Johnson's vaccine is said to be about 66% effective. Doctors say those who required hospitalization after being vaccinated had milder symptoms. Later on Valley News Live at 6, some sound advice just in time to prevent unwanted sneezing and wheezing.
We did enjoy some 50s to nearly 60 degrees out in our western counties. As we head through our Thursday evening, we have changes moving in from the west. Caught a beautiful rising sun from our Luther family forward view of the eastern horizon this morning. Your hour-by-hour forecast includes rain, even a few flakes. I'll have details on that warm-up too right after this.